Hey guys, Lucky J here. This is gonna try to be a short little video. This is a blower motor off of a pellet stove. It went bad because of lack of maintenance. If you look right here, there's a hole here and a hole here. They don't tell you this in the manuals or anything like that, but these are oil holes. There's bearings in this. 99% of the time these go bad from lack of lubricant. Another thing I'm going to tell you, when you're looking up parts online, be hesitant to just jump on eBay and type in your stove. A lot of times you can find parts a lot cheaper typing in the manufacturer of the motors. Now this is disassembled from the unit itself. I took it out. The motor's bad, the unit's good. You get on eBay and type in your stove, it's just going to tell you, well, it's not going to tell you, it's just going to come up a bunch of complete units, and they're ridiculous. They're like 150, you know, I've seen them even almost $200. I mean, they're taking full advantage of the consumer. Here, let me show you something here. I'll just pop this off. Now this thing's been apart a million times because I tried to save it and I cannot find parts online. Basically it just needs bearings. But I'll show you basically what went wrong with it. Without cutting myself. See that in there? Those are shims. There's supposed to be like a cardboard material wafer in there. It basically covers it. And this just free spins. I don't really know any easier way to say it. I'm not a technician or anything like that. But what happened was it got dry and the motor just heated up and basically roached this here. I did put washers in there and I got it running pretty good, but it's not up to par. I ended up just ordering a new blower motor. Now this is the motor for the fan that blows, the circulating fan basically that blows the heat through the machine. And I ended up picking up just the motor. It was actually not this motor but a similar motor. It was actually off a fan, like a usual fan you'd use in a garage or something like that. I picked up the motor for like 20 bucks. You just got to take the time to do the research. If you want to save money, you know, spend a half an hour, an hour looking up and looking at pictures, and you can do it. But there's just a rough idea. See that down in there, the cardboard wafer in there. I'm just calling it a wafer because that's what it reminds me of, is gone. But basically it just sits down in there and the oil lubricates that spins and this rides on it, and if it gets dry the friction wears down the material and it gets slop in it, and then you have that happen. So this isn't a video on as much as how to fix it, just kind of what it looks like in there, what causes the problem. The only suggestion I could say is oil it. I don't know how often. I wouldn't be afraid to use a little bit of thicker oil because you're dealing with extreme temperatures here. but look up the manufacturer's name before you look up your stove, and you'll save some money. I'm going to be uploading a video. I gotta find my old auger motor. They wanted like $60 or $70 for one, and I ended up picking one up off of eBay for, I think it was like $23, and fixed my buddy's stove. I had to readjust his stove because it was a higher RPM motor for the auger than the original one. But that's what those pre-settings and the advanced settings on a stove are for. They come in handy for compensating. You can keep your stove functioning on a budget. I see a lot of people selling their stoves when they break because they just like call a technician, or they get online and look up the parts and they're just ridiculous. They don't need to be. You know, as I said, I bought this motor very cheap. It wasn't the same brand, and it was actually a fan motor, the same exact motor they use on a fan that you can go to like Lowe's. You can't get them at Walmart, but like Lowe's, and buy a decent industrial fan for like, you know, $50. Take the motor off of it, and you're still saving anywhere from $100 to $50. So please subscribe. I'll upload more videos. As I said before, I have a motor down in my garage I got to dig out, and I will go through the steps and show you what you need to do to look up these manufacturers, because they're selling these motors to the pellet stove company for a bottom dollar, and they're just marking them up. You don't need the whole blower assembly. Your motor's bad. So, alright. Hope to make some more videos. See you guys later.